Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Live from the GBM studios in Belize City, it's Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right with your hosts, Sabrina Daly and Paul Lopez.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And good morning, Paul. How we doing?
We're doing good.
Happy Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. It's March 18th.
Yes, it is. And it's a gloomy Wednesday morning at that here in the old capital. Tell us where you're tuning in from. What's the weather looking like? I know that the temperatures also dropped a little bit last night into this morning. And so we are enjoying some chilly temperatures and gloomy weather here in Belize City. But we have a wonderful show lined up for our viewers. It is a wonderful Wednesday morning, and as you can probably tell, Paul, I'm in a little bit of a good mood after last night's premiere of Across Borders. So hopefully we can get an opportunity to talk about that a bit later on as well. But here's what we have lined up for you guys in terms of conversations this morning. UNICEF and NCFC unite for child protection. Also showcasing women's talents at Ahmadiyyah Women's Expo. Empowering women through e-taxi mobility. And lastly, NEBL basketball fever hits the court.
Yeah, it's excellent stuff.
Yes.
We're going to jump into those conversations. We've been having some really good, insightful conversations throughout the course of this week. I've been filling in for Isani. He's been under the weather and he's not someone that ordinarily gets sick.
He would tell you he don't get sick.
Yeah,
he's superior to sickness.
Well, sickness knocked on his door last week and said, hey, I have something for you. But he's a true sport and he's been working through it while working here. And so I wish him all the best this morning in terms of his recovery.
He'll be back.
But in any event, these are the 5 things some things you need to know before you leave your home this morning or as you're on your way to work. We're going to be discussing these topics. We're looking at Briceño's, and I mean Prime Minister John Briceño's glowing, quote unquote, U.S. letter, which has raised some questions raise more questions than comfort, if you would. We're going to be looking at that. Also, Senator Denison, Glenfield Denison, has found himself in some hot water following the submission of that quote, that price quote, that invoice, if you would, to BTL concerning legal fees. So there's an FIU letter out, and then yesterday we heard from the Department of Tax Services. We're going to be talking about that. Opposition leader stands with Cuba. The leader of the opposition, Tracy Panton, is urging the Briceño administration to not, well, her words are, don't abandon our friends. She's speaking specifically about Cuba. We're going to talk about the rippling effects of the global conflict in Iran and how that will also have an impact on fertilizer prices. And you know, when things start touch fertilizer, what that mean? It start touch your vegetables, it start touch the food on your table.
This speaks directly to what you were saying last week, Friday, as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. And then last but certainly not least, man, my heart was filled with joy last night when I saw the release of Noane Martinez's video in honor of his father, Aurelio Martinez. So this is a touching anniversary tribute. I hope we get a chance to talk about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, perhaps we can begin with, I just really want to jump into, I know that it wasn't on the list,
Right.
last night's premiere
We
of
mentioned
Across Borders. It has been a project that we've been working on for the better part of the last 4 months or so. And I'm just so excited that people can finally see what traveling in Central America looked like from my perspective. Also, Ricardo Romero, who was actively involved capturing the sights, the sounds as camera. You know, oftentimes, Paul, we as Belizeans, we embrace the idea of being a part of the Caribbean, right? A part of CARICOM. And we kind of say very quickly, yeah, we're part of Central America as well. But there's an entire identity that I think we have not been able to truly tap into as well. And so traveling Central America last year, I was able to visit Honduras as well as El Salvador. I really got to see some of the similarities, some of the things that we might have not necessarily embraced as being our Central American identity as well. Last night we premiered Across Borders, and I was in Honduras. And
yes.
I got my first taste of baleadas, as you see there as well.
What's baleadas?
So baleadas is like what rice and beans is to us. That's what, you know, it is
so
to
it's
them.
rice and beans?
What rice and beans means to Belizean, baleadas means to Hondurans.
And
it's kind of like
a national.
Yeah, well, rice and beans. Yeah, right.
They
Exactly.
national dish.
Because rice and beans isn't a national dish.
Yeah, but we call it.
Exactly.
You know, yeah.
So it's the same
The
thing.
go-to.
And so anywhere you go, you can get baleadas. And of course, my first day in Honduras, I wanted to try and eat what the people eat. You know, when they say when you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do. And I did the same, and I got myself a baleada. So of course, it was not exactly the authentic one. I put my own thing in there, and really it was kind of like a burrito when it was done. But aside from that, it was just the ability to be able to speak with the locals, experience this beautiful country in just 24 hours, as you would have been able to see last night. I did spend more days in Honduras, and I did do quite a few more activities. So every week on Tuesday, I'll be showcasing what that experience has been like. It's only 5 episodes, but we've definitely been working on putting as many as we possibly can in there.
So you travel to Honduras, El Salvador as
Yes.
well. So that's all going to be in there. My question is, I know you're not the most versed with Espanol.
Espanol?
How did you navigate communicating and connecting with people?
So, I mean, Rick speaks Spanish fluently.
Okay,
but
so
aside from that,
you
Paul,
had
I would be like,
Rick translator.
El, can you help me and move over here, over aquí, and I just like broke it down so terribly. I'm pretty sure they watched me like I was an idiot several times, but the group that we were with also included some other international journalists, travel writers, some even influencers. And so I was able to kind of tag along with some of them that were bilingual too. But Rick, I mean, Rick was my trusty, translator.
Here's the challenge. As we, and I would hope that we continue to send you into Central America to do more of these, that the next time you travel into Central America, that you know
some
more Spanish than you do right now.
Absolutely. So by the time I left Honduras, I felt like I just needed 2 more weeks in there, Paul, and I'm on a rattle off Spanish here. I felt like I really only needed 2 more weeks because I really made friends as well. And I think when you're able to really embrace the culture and the locals, you'd be able to feel a bit.
This is Halova Creek Bridge Road, is it?
Right, yeah.
The places look so similar.
That's what I'm saying. The minute we hopped on the tour bus from the airport and we started traveling to Panacam, I realized, no man, we did a Cayo. We did drive through Cayo, you know? But it was so familiar, and I love that about it because I think that's what we wouldn't necessarily know unless we experienced it.
True.
That I think Probably the only other country that Belizeans would embrace or have embraced is Mexico. And so to see that there are so many similarities between us and Honduras, you know, there's a lot more that you guys are going to witness as well. Next week, we are going to take on some even more bigger and exciting activities. There's one of them that we also teased that includes a mighty bean that we are familiar with here back home, Paul. And so I'm excited to show you guys how Honduras embraces the cacao bean and what all they do with it as well.
All right, we're not going to give away too much.
Yeah, we're not going to do much more than that. But let's move things along. I know that we have some topics to jump into. With the time that we have, where should we begin?
Well, I think it's a good place to start with the issue pertaining to Briceño's, or Prime Minister John Briceño's glowing U.S. letter, which raised some questions, more questions than comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this all has to do with the State Bank issue, right? And you would really have to go back into the archives to look at the storied past of State Bank. I'm just pulling up some notes here because it's the volume of information surrounding State Bank is vast, and for many people, because it's gone through the courts, it's sort of complex. But where we are at right now, we're at a juncture where the U.S. government has sort of gotten involved in the situation, right? And it began with a letter from the Feinsteins to the chairman of the House of Foreign Affairs Committee in the U.S., Representative Brian Mass. And he essentially, the Feinsteins, who we know have interest in State Bank, essentially told that representative to, hey, you all need to look into how this whole business went down in terms of our stake in State Bank and in terms of the legal challenges we're facing, in terms of the investment challenges we're facing, and you all need to look into what this says about the investment climate in Belize and the business climate in Belize, and what that foreign chair of the House of Foreign Affairs Committee, Brian Mass, what that representative did. That representative wrote to the Secretary of State, Mark Rubio, and essentially outlining concerns regarding Belize's investment climate, regarding Belize's laws and how Belize goes about dealing and treating investors, right? And so raised questions about that. And so it's a big deal when not only such a powerful representative gets involved in the affairs of Belize where business and investment and climate is concerned, but also when the Secretary of State is written to. So it says that this representative took it so seriously that he forwarded it to the Secretary of State, right, for an investigation to be launched. And so when the Prime Minister was on a morning show recently, he was asked about it. And it was the morning show. He was asked about it. And what happened was the Prime Minister brought out a letter.
Yeah, that was...
Right? And this letter was, he referenced a letter from Florida's Representative Carlos Jimenez. And in this letter, in referencing this letter, PM basically said this representative gave Belize raving reviews in terms of several different things. And so this is how the Prime Minister responded to questions about the concerns surrounding the Secretary of State Mark Rubio, Representative Mas, regarding investigations or questions about Belize's investment. So now he pulls out another letter, almost like for say, you put on draw 2 on the table, well say I put on draw 4, right? But the question is whether or not, and it's simply a question being thrown around, whether or not the Prime Minister is misrepresenting what the Florida Representative Carlos Jimenez is saying. Some people are suggesting that that letter from the Representative Carlos Jimenez specifically speaks to agriculture and Belize's forward move in agriculture and investment in agriculture, and not specifically to the State Bank issue.
Or a widespread congratulatory statement of all the efforts being made.
And not a defense of Belize's approach and Belize's government approach to investment and to all of that. And so it's almost like you're pitting one representative against the other in this case. And so that's where the scrutiny is coming in, Sabrina, with the State Bank issue.
You know, one of the things that we also heard in the interview that he gave before he pulled out the letter that we are speaking of was kind of like alluding to the fact that this is taking place because of an investor essentially not getting his way.
Yeah.
And I think that's a conversation that people are also asking and having, because this type of spotlight is negative. You know, it puts a bad light on Belize's investment space, and it forces the government to have to try to showcase that, no, we are providing equal opportunity for everyone, and this is a good space for investors internationally to come into Belize and you know, invest their money.
Yeah.
However, I think the letter that he used, especially us having the ability or us having the opportunity to see or see parts of the letter as well, didn't really bode well for him.
And so it's, I like where you're going with it, but at the same time, this issue is marred in legal controversy, only to say that the whole issue reached a tipping point in 2024 when the government of Belize compulsorily acquired the property. What I will say in closing, though, is that in the midst of all these conversations about Belize's investment climate, according to the Prime Minister's budget speech, we have seen the highest investment revenue. We saw it last year, the highest in recent times, which is over $500 million. So that says that investors are interested in Belize. Investors do want to come and spend their money here. So, but that was last year. How this letter and how this controversy with State Bank impacts those investments moving forward, well, that's a question that's a conversation to be had, and that's something we'll be looking at closely. But Belize's investment portfolio and the amount of income we're generating from investment, just based on the facts at the surface, it looks good right now, and I don't want that point to be missed.
Absolutely. Well, let's move things along, because another interesting letter that we are also watching closely is a letter coming from FIU regarding a story that we have been looking closely at as well last week and even into the past 2 weeks. We know that Union Senator Glenfield Dennison has been actively involved in the fight for the Communication Workers Union, the Belize Communication Workers Unions, trying to get their monies from BTL. And with that, there are also accusations that he was trying to use his services as a legal attorney to essentially get monies from BTL. Now, there was some shocking information that came out of the news last night as well, Paul, regarding, I guess, the legality of him being able to do that by getting GST for his service or his business that wasn't essentially registered properly. Is that it?
Yeah, so just a couple corrections. It's the Belize Communication Workers for Justice.
Yes.
Right? And I know it's easy to get that mixed up with the Belize Communication Workers Union.
Yes.
Right? BCWJ, BCWU. But When we first approached Senator Dennison and first heard from him on this issue, which began to boil over after the invoice he sent to BTL. This year is the invoice for services rendered to the BCWJ. He came off as somebody that is willing to die on this hill.
Yeah.
Right? That is willing to lay it all on the line for this cause. And I don't know that he has backed down from that position. Based on their explanation, sending in this invoice was strategic in that they wanted to start a conversation about legal fees, but not about their legal fees and BCWJ's legal fees, about the legal fees that BTL has had to pay out so far in dealing with cases surrounding severance and former employees. But much to his chagrin, if you would, the conversation has not gone in that direction.
Yeah.
It's almost as if the strategy has sort of backfired on him. And that's what we're seeing play out here today, where, first of all, the FIU published a letter based on request, and the letter is essentially saying that the company and the TIN number attached to the letter, attached to that invoice isn't registered. So that's one thing they're looking into. And then now here we have the Belize Tax Service coming in to say that it is a crime. And I think the Belize Tax Service was speaking generally yesterday to say it is a crime to send an invoice and put a GST on it to be collected, even when you are not essentially a registered company with a registered TIN number. So they're essentially saying that the crime happens even before you collect, just by sending an invoice. Just by
sending it.
Right? So that adds another layer to what seems to be a probe. I find it amazing that the FIU is acting so swiftly in this regard. And I say so because while we are looking at the issue concerning the BPOs, I have been pressing the FIU to get information. I've been pressing the FIU for an interview, and they've been lagging, they've been dragging their feet, but yet within a matter of days, they can't just jump out, publish a letter, and offer responses on an issue like this. All I'm asking now, perhaps this is just my personal plug, put as much interest in what I'm asking for as well. So I find it amusing that they're moving so swiftly with this, and then that even the Belize Tax Service has weighed in on such a matter.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we do have to cut this short at this moment. We are completely out of time, but your thoughts on either of the topics mentioned, we would appreciate as well. At this point, we have to take our first break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, our first conversation is UNICEF and NCFC uniting for child protection.
Postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, texts, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio, 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
The first time I visited Sharp Vision Eye Clinic, I immediately felt like my eyesight truly mattered. Firstly, the assistant warmly greeted me and asked me to fill out the form explaining the purpose for my visit. Then, the optometrist took her time with me, walking me through a full eye exam and explaining everything clearly. She inquired about my family history for glaucoma, diabetic eye issues, hypertensive retinopathy, things I never even knew to worry about. Their advanced diagnostic imaging gave me the most detailed look I've ever had on my eye health. Knowing they could catch problems early gave me real peace of mind. I was surprised by how much they offer. Treatment for allergies, styes, common eye conditions, and even emergencies like minor injuries. When it came to choosing glasses, their in-house optical shop made things easy. Stylish options, helpful advice, and fast service thanks to their on-site lab. Sharp Vision Eye Clinic gave me clarity and confidence. My vision feels like a priority because here, it truly is.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me, and I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish. Neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. My Father which gave them me is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand." This great promise by Jesus reminds me of the story of a young boy in Florida who decided to go swimming in a swimming hole behind his house. In such a hurry to dive into the cool water, he ran out the back door, leaving his shoes and socks and shirt behind as he went. He flew into the water, not realizing as he swam toward the middle of the lake that an alligator was swimming toward the shore. His mother, looking out the window, saw what was happening and ran outside and began to scream for him to swim back to her frantically. He began to try to make his way back. But just before he reached her, the alligator reached him. From the dock, the mother grabbed her little boy by the arms as the alligator snatched his legs. An incredible tug of war began. The mother screamed for help, and a man passing by came to the rescue. He shot the alligator, and the boy was carried to the hospital. His legs were severely scarred, but later a newspaper reporter came to interview the young boy and asked him to show him his scars. The boy lifted his pant legs and then said to the reporter, "But look at my arms. I have great scars on my arms too, because my mom would not let me go." Many of us have scars of a painful past that reminds us of a loving God who would not let us go. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Welcome back. This is our first conversation, and as we mentioned before the break, it's all about UNICEF and NCFC uniting for child protection. We are joined this morning by Carla Alvarez. She's the national lead consultant representing the Blue Teddy Bear campaign. Also with us is Marcus August. He's the Information, Education, and Communications Officer representing NCFC, and Stephanie Daniels, Communication Officer representing UNICEF. Guys, thanks for joining us and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
The Blue Teddy Bear. It sounds like, warm and fuzzy. It sounds like something that will bring you comfort. Perhaps we can begin with the title itself, the Blue Teddy Bear campaign. What's the idea behind it?
Okay, so Blue Teddy, as we affectionately call it amongst ourselves, is a campaign that's looking to address the elimination of violence against children. We use the symbol of the teddy bear because it's a universal symbol of comfort. And the teddy bear has a band-aid on it because we're signifying that we're about healing and protecting children. So I think as media professionals, I don't have to tell you, you report the news, you know that we have so many instances of abuse, neglect, and violence against children. And the conversation we repeatedly have is, how do we change this?
Yeah.
And I think that's what Blue Teddy Bear is coming in to do. It's how do you give people the tools to be able to identify, to prevent, to identify, and report cases of abuse. And widening the conversation to understand that there's no one organization that can address violence against children. It has to be a collective effort.
Yeah.
And so it's a campaign that looks at engaging private sector, community-based organizations, schools, parents, and teachers, and children themselves in having the tools and equipping them with the knowledge and the tools to be able to respond in instances where children are not being protected.
Well, while we in the media report on cases about violence against children, we oftentimes report on single cases over the course of time, right? So one case today, another case maybe a week later. We don't oftentimes get to see the full picture. So is there data to paint the full picture in terms of how prevalent this issue is in Belize, and what does that data look like?
So the data, there are challenges, and we're not data experts on the panel, so we won't get into unpacking the data, but at the end of the day, what we can report is that there is too many cases. Any number of cases is too much as it relates to violence against children. We've recently had the mix, and the mix definitely shares some information on the different types of violence against children, but definitely our work in eliminating violence against children looks at how do we improve the collection of data, that we have a clearer picture of what's happening on the ground.
You also mentioned that there are several organizations, institutions that have been also doing the same thing. And in this case, there's not too much, you know, you need more people collaborating as well. From NCFC's standpoint, what's the work looking like to provide support to children and families that are in situations like this?
So far for this campaign, it's basically spreading awareness using our senior consultant. Under the ministry, we have DHS and NCFC that work shoulder to shoulder. NCFC, as you know, champions the rights of a child, all 54 rights. So this is a specific campaign that touches a very intimate topic, which is sexual abuse. Unfortunately, like you asked about the data, the cases aren't reported as much, and so we have this issue that we really don't know how deep it goes. And so in our campaign, we highlight this pathway to encourage Belizeans, when you see this abuse happening, what to do. You gather the data, the name, the address, the location, and you report. There's a toll-free number, 0800-PROTECT. And when these cases are submitted, you remain anonymous, and the cases go through.
While the cases they aren't reported as much, where are you all going to kind of get the data and hear about the scenarios, because this campaign targets specific sectors, right? So is that to say then that, well, one, this is where these children go, but two, this is where it's happening as well?
For this pilot campaign, Ms. Carla could explain more of where it is, the projection of where it will go. It's a one-year campaign, so she could elaborate as much.
Well, let's get Ms. Carla in the conversation.
Yes, so as Ms. Tagas was saying, it is a pilot initiative, and so we are starting with Southside Belize City. Yes, so when we started in January, it started first with consultation and meetings with the Department of Human Services, because we recognize that they are an important partner, you know, for NCFC, for UNICEF, and also with the police department. And I must say that the support and the feedback that we have gotten from them is tremendous, right? One of the things that, one of the main focus, I guess, would be the referral pathways. And the referral pathways has to do with what is the procedure, what is the process of, when there's a suspected case of child abuse. And it's not just sexual violence we're looking at and sexual abuse, just abuse in general, right? And so what I've done is I've met with those stakeholders. We've met with the Belize City Council. We've gotten support from them also. We have done, I guess, what we'd call like a soft launch, right? In terms of, you might see, if you look at NCFC's page, you will see the NCFC logo, but the little teddy bear holding up the logo, right? So we want to ensure that there's social visibility, that, people are starting to ask, as you have, what is the blue teddy bear? What does it mean, and what does it signify, right? So we're hoping that after this year, then we can expand to other areas of the country.
What have we identified as perhaps some of the primary reasons that people would not report these cases? Usually it's kind of like, it's so sensitive, you don't even know where to begin. And you're also going against perhaps fear of the child, maybe not wanting to express what is taking place because they feel that they're going to get even in more trouble. Have people identified or stated what are some of the reasons, if any, of why they wouldn't report?
I think there's always that fear of there isn't the, that Belize is so small. Everybody know everybody else, right? Yeah. And so there's always that fear that because of that, I might want to report a case, but somebody will find out that I was the one to report the case, right? So hence the reason I think part of what the campaign does is create that awareness of, what are the steps, right? And how much protection do you have as the person who is making the report, right?
So let's get further into the campaign to talk a bit about practical application. How are we going about implementing this campaign practically?
Okay. So as I said, we started with the consultation process, meeting with the Department of Human Services, looking at what they call the referral pathway, meeting with the police department, and ensuring that there is alignment between both bodies, and like I said, they have been very receptive and very supportive, because I think this is something that they need help with, right? And so we are there to offer that support. I met with the City Council also, and with them, again, to create the awareness, to create the support. And we have already also, we're in the process then of formalizing that agreement with certain community-based organizations. We have our launch, our official launch this Friday at the hub, yes, at 9 a.m. And so we are engaging more and more with the community-based organizations, with the private sectors. There are certain schools that for now we will target, and we will provide training for the parents, the teachers, the students, right? And also we'll provide training for these different organizations, right? And these are community-based organizations and the private sector business places within Southside Belize City.
If I can add, so when you join this campaign, right, what you're being asked to do is 4 things. The first is we educate, because you have to understand what we mean when we talk about violence, get the information about the rights of the child, the impact of violence, what signs to look for, that kind of thing, right? And then you're going to be, then the second step is engage. So after you've learned all of this information, the campaign asks you to, within your community, right, or your organization, to share this information with others, right? Then the third step is asking you to reform within your organization, your school, your company, because we're dealing with 4 different types of participants to this campaign. What is it that you can change about maybe the way you do your work, the way you engage with children, that better protects them? So that's you looking in. So you learn, you're teaching, you're looking in, and then last, you're acting. That acting can be in two ways. You can give resources to the campaign, or you can join the efforts to support the National Elimination of Violence Against Children Action Plan. So what that means is there are already things happening that the ministry and NCFC are supporting. So how can you mobilize your resources, your energy, your people to support what is already happening? So after you finish these 4 things, you are Blue Teddy Bear certified, right? In that you are now a champion, and you are part of a network at a community level that is not only learning about violence against children, but can act to prevent violence against children and can act to respond to instances that pass in your influence, right, in your sphere of influence. So that's how this campaign is different. It's not just about the awareness, but it's about a commitment at an institutional level, a community level, a school level. And so how are we going to support the country, in particular this community that we're working in Southside, to better protect children?
You started off with one of the first steps being to educate, to learn. What are the signs that we should look for if we, suspect that a child is being abused?
So there is a training manual that Miss Carla is going to execute when you join this campaign, and it is very detailed in terms of telling you both from the psychological aspect, the behavioral cues that you can recognize. It includes everything from change in the child's behavior, certain signs that you may see physically, right? Certain behaviors that indicate that there is something happening. So maybe she can expand a little more about what's.
But just to add to that, the cues for the general public who won't have access to the manual or the training just yet, we have these QR codes on the teddy bears that we've placed around Belize City, right? So a part of the campaign, just to add, was awareness, but awareness with education.
Okay.
And so when the public, this is why...
That's there on screen, that's the sign.
Yes. And so we have them around Belize. If you'd like to have it on your location, please contact us at 280-1180 so we could definitely get you one.
That's a great idea,
And
guys.
what happens when you scan it?
That's right. So what happens is when you scan it, there are 5 different codes. One basically has access to all 5, and it gives you what Ms. Carla is going to explain in a minute. But that's a part of the campaign. So for the people who are seeing this show now and they're passing the blue teddy bear, I would encourage them to scan it to learn about these signs.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
do you have any pointers, maybe 1 or 2 things that people can look for signs?
I think one of the probably the most important ones would be a change in behavior, right? And we know that there are different kinds of abuse. So there is physical abuse that you might be able to see bruises, you might be able to see scratches, you might see a child at school maybe too fidgety or sitting uncomfortably in a chair, right? And then of course there's emotional abuse that, a child is depressed, a child is acting out, misbehaving beyond maybe what is expected in the classroom, So these are some things, not to say that every time a child misbehaves, it's an example of sexual abuse or violence, right? But these are things that I think that we have to first start to look out for.
But bear in mind too that your role is not to investigate, your role is to report. And the people with the qualified background that can distinguish what is normal behavior and what require further investigation will take it from there. And that's why we talk about the referral pathway, so that you understand you may be a mandatory reporter, then you know where you're supposed to go in terms of connecting, sharing that information to the human development departments that take the next step. So we're not asking people to go investigate.
Okay, so reporting is the extent of the intervention that you're recommending? Let's say, for example,
depending on who you are,
right?
Because if you are you will have different levels. If you are a CBO, you will have a mandate. So within your mandate,
what's a CBO?
community-based organization.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. But so if I'm a family member,
yes,
I
report.
might
just report.
Just report.
Just report.
And if I'm just a regular citizen with no
Report.
attachment to the child or the family, just report.
Likewise.
Yeah.
And you can report anonymously.
Okay.
That is something that, you know.
There's a hotline?
Yes, there's a
0800
hotline. 0800 protect, right?
One of the other
Yes.
points, though, that Stephanie, you also mentioned was the responsibility that we are asking for businesses and other institutions to have as well in protecting or supporting children. Can you expand on that? I believe that was one of the last points.
So they are one of the types of participants we're hoping join the Blue Teddy Bear campaign, and I think to date we have one.
Okay.
Right, so Ms. Carla's role is to go continue recruiting, and we're doing this media interview to also raise awareness that if your organization is interested, you can join.
Yes.
But your organization as a private sector organization will go through the same steps, but when it gets to the reform, so you'll educate, you'll have sessions with Ms. Carla to learn. You will engage as well within your staff, right? You will also reform. So, for example, you'll think about what are some of my family-friendly policies that I can institute in my private sector organization that allows for children to be better protected, whether it's when they're at my business or in support to the families that I employ.
Yeah.
Right? And then you also can do the same. You're acting as well, because you can work with the Ministry of Human Development to support the EVAC response. So you're looking at things like maybe you can take on interns at your company, maybe you can give financial resources or other resources that's necessary to support the departments that already do work to protect children from violence.
Yeah. On screen we saw a moment ago what would come up when you scan the QR code. Can we go back to that really quickly? So that's the first thing that pops up. Did you know? Forgive me, I can't. I'm not able to.
This one is sharing information.
Children in Belize continue to be victims of devastating abuse and violence. They
Yes.
need
There
our
are 6 of
voice,
them.
our protection, and our support. Yes.
So there are six.
There are 6
different
of them, yeah.
Okay.
So this one goes to the narrative, right?
Yes.
So, but we'll have this information on our website, so you can also access it there, NCFC and UNICEF.
And I just wanted to say that in terms of the training, because, well, Ms. Stephanie spoke about different key actors that we have a part of this initiative. So we have the CBOs, the community-based organizations, the private sector, the schools. And when we say the schools, we mean the teachers, students, and parents also. And the training will be tailored in different ways for these different stakeholders or partners, right? Because we know that, you know, we cannot train the parents the same way maybe we would train the CBOs or we would train the teachers, right? So we're hoping that, for example, for our teachers, we're hoping to probably do that training in August, and the teachers will be able to get CPD credit hours, and, you know, so we really want to ensure that they are engage in this, you know, and at the school level, it's not just the teachers, but the parents and the students and the entire school community would be involved, right? So I just want to say that we are still in the process where we can welcome community-based organizations that might be interested, or even private sector groups. They can reach out to the NCFC office at
280-1180.
there's a number.
Well, guys, as we wind down this conversation, I'll ask if you have any final thoughts you'd like to share on the overall message of the Blue Teddy Bear, perhaps even continuing this conversation beyond the 1 year. Ms. Alvarez, that we'll also be having you on too.
Okay, so I guess I go first. For me, I think what I like and what UNICEF promotes and why we're supporting Blue Teddy Bear is that protecting children from violence needs to be a priority, and it needs to be an all of society goal. There's no one entity that will be able to do, while the government and its various departments will have the responsibility to answer nationally. Community, schools, people in these private sector organizations, they can also play a role. And so if we're really, committed to protecting children, then we can all chip in and ensure that where we engage with children, we're equipped to support them and support this mandate.
Mr. August?
Well, just going back to that question, I know you're a dad now, and thinking about the campaign now, I believe that child protection is everybody's responsibility. Right? So I want to encourage the public to utilize the Blue Teddy Bear on their social media platforms to spread the awareness. And also make sure to follow NCFC on all social media platforms to stay engaged with the campaign.
Love that.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, Ms.
And I just want to reiterate that, we are still welcoming persons that might be interested, organizations, the private sector, to reach out to us, and we would be welcome to offer the support, to offer the training, and to, I think this has to be a community effort.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate the conversation. Before we take our next break, I want to engage you guys with our motivational quote this morning, and it comes from Nelson Mandela. It goes like this: "There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children."
Perfect.
Very fitting.
Agree.
Very fitting for today.
All right, we take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be showcasing women's talents at Ahmadiyyah Women's Expo.
Haven't updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
Need a fresh new kitchen, flip that switch ignition. G appliances shine. Every knob, every line, all align and turn the shower on. Feel gold, colder in the chrome. So bold from the tiles to the tiny screws. We've got the wow you'll choose. All in one place, Design Depot. Everything you need for the life you want. Let's go! From the floor to the paint to the patio glow. Build it up, light it up. Watch your dream home grow. All in one place. All in one place. All in one place. All in one place. All in one place.
Design Depot, all in one place.
Fans are filling up the gyms to see exciting NEBL games. And this weekend, Week 5 showcase 3 mega matchups. On Friday night, the Belize City Defenders try to keep the Corozal Spartans winless with a must-win game to stay in the hunt for the 70K at the Belize Civic Center. Then on Saturday night, another mega showdown at the Belize Civic Center as the number 2 team, the Fighting Tiger Sharks, goes up against the rough and tough Dangriga Dream Ballers in a war. And in Cayo at the Victor Galvez Stadium, who won the West as the rolling Cayo Western Ballers goes up against the Belmopan Trojans. The NEBL girls giveaways along with the National Sports Council halftime $5,000 shooting challenge. So this weekend, make it another NEBL weekend, sponsored by the Government of Belize.
In the heart of the Cayo district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easier for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned with us. This is our second conversation for this morning, and we're joined by the Ahmadiyyah Women's Chapter, and they're here to speak all about the Ahmadiyyah Women's Expo that's going down this weekend right here in Belize City. We'll learn more about it, and joining us to speak about it, we have the president of the Women's Chapter, Ms. Maham Warash. We also have the public relations, Ms. Deshawn Ellis, and moral training, Ms. Khadija Hassan.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning. And welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. It's a pleasure having you all. Yes. All right, so this is an annual event.
Yes, it is.
And you all are hosting it this Saturday.
That's right.
So let's talk a bit about what can be expected at the Ahmadiyyah Women's Expo. Perhaps we could start with the president?
Yes. So we're offering a couple free services for our sisters and our women, because I feel like sisters need to come out and relax, especially mothers. Need to come and have a day to relax themselves. So we are offering free hair braiding, free nails and henna, as well as free massages as well.
Ooh. Wow.
And we also are giving, to step into the health side as well, we're doing free vitals as well for the sisters. And childcare. Oh yeah, we'll have childcare as well. We'll have.
So it's like, oh, and we also have this.
No. The childcare is so the sisters can come and get those free services while their kids are being taken care of and they're entertained at the side.
That is so lovely. That's how you know that this is a woman-planned event, because you understand what a woman would want.
Yes.
But you know, ladies, I think it's always exciting having you guys over, because one of the things that we were talking about is how much this event has grown as well, bringing women from all across the city, probably even out of the city, and perhaps a frequently asked question that people would have is, do you have to be a part of the faith to even attend an event like this?
No.
How do you respond?
No, you don't. You know, it's free to the to women. It's a women's only event, and it's a part of giving back. The Ahmadiyya community have been in Belize since 2013, but we are a global community. We were established in 1889 in India by Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, and he stressed service to humanity. That's one of our hallmarks, and we're known for that. In Belize, you know about the ABL, the Ahmadi Basketball League.
Yes.
But that's not the only thing we do. As women, our chapter, we do pantry drive. We do educational, we provide education for women. The whole purpose of the community is serving humanity regardless of race, color, creed. Even though we've been in Belize since 2013, we are a global community.
Yeah.
We are in Africa, in many countries. Well, of course, Africa is a continent. We're in Senegal, Gambia. We were really big in Gambia. They just had a Jalsa, a convention, and like 40,000 people were there.
Wow.
Right.
That's huge.
So one of the things we do in serving humanity, we go to Africa, we build schools, hospitals, dig wells. We're in, aside from being in Africa, we're in Central, South America, we're in Gambia, we're in Guyana, we're in Trinidad, we're in Guatemala. The present Khalifa, the fifth Khalifa, because after the passing of the founder, we were guided by Khalifas. And the fifth Khalifa, he went to inaugurate a hospital in Guatemala.
Wow.
And when he inaugurated the hospital, because I was there, thankfully, he said that, don't think it's strange that we are establishing a hospital for people that aren't Muslim, because it's a requirement of our faith to serve humanity. So that's what we do.
Before we go to Ms. Deshawn, Ms. Khadija, I feel like I asked you this last year, but what's your role as a moral trainer or providing moral training? What does that involve?
Yes, you did ask me that last year.
I'm still curious again, I forgot.
Okay, all right. Well, it's our, we have our function, we have our community, and I would give guidance, but the ultimate guidance that I get is from the fifth Khalifa.
Okay.
He guides not only us in Belize, but globally. So he has mulaqats, he has meetings. He has meetings with the women. He advises on social media. He advises us not to put our face on social media. And with AI that is coming up, people do all kind of funny things with your likeness, So he advises us on how to be better prepared to be in the society. The whole purpose of the hijab, which is something that is a problem or a concern for some people. It's so that when we go among a mixed group, that we're not molested, that we're not disrespected. There's times when I'm in a mixed group, of course it happens, and someone would say a curse word and they say, sorry, So they give me respect.
Yeah.
I wanna jump over to Ms. Deshawn while I'm completely intrigued by what you have to say, Ms. Khadija. What brings you the greatest joy when you all have these expos and see the turnout and the engagement?
Honestly, our main objective behind the Expo is to, well, as the Ahmadiyya Women's Chapter, and Islam in itself, like Sister Khadija said, we're here to, we believe that women, we need spaces that pour back into us, right? And being a woman, depending on however many hats you wear, those tasks could be constant, right? And so this is our way of investing in women. So if we see women connecting, being refreshed, being happy, the children being happy, that our goal has been completed. And of course, we want to build a bridge, right, with the wider community, so that they could come and see us as sisters, daughters, mothers, leaders, active members of society, that we're actually creating spaces for women to thrive. And that's exactly what Islam teaches us. And so if we could check that box, that would be amazing.
What misconceptions would you say are broken as a result of this sort of inclusive event?
Great question. Yes, I think the main one as women, Muslim women, is that Muslim women are oppressed and hidden away. And here we are, 3 of us on
very unoppressed.
And so I think that's the main thing. You know, people would hear some kind of misconstrued thing, anything. It doesn't even have to be about Islam, and that's fine, right? And so in the same way, we want to invite the women to come out and see something different, see the reality, and see us, like I said, creating these spaces for women. And yeah, just to come and meet us, ask us any questions. I'll be doing the book stall.
The book stall.
So if
What's
you have
the book
any
stall?
so we'll be selling books, Islamic knowledge books, Qurans, and we are also answering any questions that you may have. There's no question that's offensive. Where's the camera? So that's part of it as well, you know, to build that awareness and to show that we are leaders in the community as well. I think that's just the main misconception. Thanks for asking that.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why I find, you know, whenever you guys come on the show every year, it's so exciting because you're so willing to share your personal stories and your faith, where otherwise there would have been a sense of kind of like, you know, we don't really want to touch this topic because it's a bit too sensitive, you know, but there's just this openness that each of you ladies have, and even the men when they come on the show as well, they're so willing to share, you know, what drew them to their faith, if they were born into it, if they weren't. In the case of you ladies, Miss Khadija and Deshawn, you ladies, you wouldn't expect, you know, exactly.
Definitely wouldn't expect it from me.
You know, so it's exciting. But in the time that we have left, let's go through the expo really quickly to talk about some specific highlights that people can look forward to as well. Is this an event that's open to other businesses to have a stall as well? Is it too late to do that also?
So we do have, so the main reason we do this expo is to give a platform to women businesses to come out and advertise their products. So we have, anyone can still reach out. We do have a lot of vendors that are asking. We have around 12 businesses that have already reached out, and they're going to be selling different products, handcrafted handbags.
Do you have to pay to be a part of it?
It's just $10 to rent a table, and that's it. And all the profit that you make, it's for you to take home. And then we also are offering free services. And then in those we have skincare, we have clothing stores who have reached out. We have
accessories.
Oh yeah, we also have food and desserts. A lot of desserts. So yeah, so definitely I think it's a great place that the sisters can come relax and then also do some shopping and enjoy themselves.
I like that there's an opportunity to learn a little bit and even exchange in culture and beliefs too. I see there you can get a book, you could learn the hijab.
Yes, you can all, yes.
That's so cool.
We do it every year, and we find that, I'm calling sisters, very, very willing to engage and like, sure, let me try on the hijab. And then of course you get that hijab for free.
You do?
Yes. You get it for free?
I like that. Right? So tell us again, time, place, location, and if there's any key thank yous that you'd like to share as well, perhaps support that you've been given to host this event annually.
We're located at 1.5 Mile on George Price Highway, which is right after Leslie's Imports. You're going to get to us before you get to JC. I know everyone right now is going to JC Belize, right?
Yeah.
So, and from 10 to 4 we'll be there, you know. So women, come on out.
Indoors.
Okay.
Air conditioned.
Air conditioned.
That's
very important detail.
Especially how hot the days are.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. Any thank yous you'd like to share as well?
Thank you.
The ladies are like, we would like to thank ourselves.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Honestly, appreciate for this platform and just, I guess all the sisters that are participating, the businesses that that are willing.
Yeah.
Because I think that's big too. Just to be a part of it.
100%.
All right. Well, ladies, thank you for joining us once more, and we wish you guys all the best.
Thank
you so much for having us.
All right, we'll take another quick break, but don't go anywhere when we come back. We have a one-on-one conversation with a young woman who has taken up the e-taxi mobility. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Full-Tech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Full-Tech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Full-Tech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
That's me. My data and I really need to get my ARA out today.
Really? Well, you can join our Smart Group plan.
Really? How that works?
Easy, let me tell you.
Whether it's family, friends, or your small business, we've got the perfect plan for every group. More members equals more savings, more connections. Smart Group plans bring the connectivity you love to you and your circle. No one gets left behind. Explore Share One package option and add on unlimited data, calls, and SMS for the entire group for less than $50 per member. Visit any Smart showroom countrywide or email sales@speednet-wireless.com to sign up today. Smart, bringing people together.
Get your body sculpted with gym equipment and accessories from Benny's. Quality and savings.
The future is calling. Belize Bank. Your future, our commitment.
Every day, the demand on your business gets higher. More productivity, better equipment, and reliable support to keep up with a fast-moving world. At Cellular World Business Solutions, we're ready to help you boost performance across every operation. Don't let outdated technology hold you back. With our certified and supported solutions, your business stays ahead. We supply office equipment, printers, inks, and toners, software licenses, IT system assembly as your Dell Platinum and Cisco partner, appliances, and custom orders tailored to your needs. From startups to large enterprises and renowned institutions, we serve every corner of the country because no industry can afford to fall behind on technology. Let's take your business to the next level. Contact us today at 610-2494. Cellular World Business Solutions, your reliable partner in business success.
Smart for everybody. Smart leading everything. Smart give you everything. Smart offer everything. Smart give you everything. North to the east and the south and the west. Smart are the best. Calling. Double up my data and give me all the text. In fact, give me a plan for my family. Unlimited calls, so me like it. And Smart make everybody feel happy. Bringing people together, me want it now. Smart got love for everybody. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. More bundles, data plan. Me want my smartphone, internet in my hand. Cause me want my Smart plan.
The future is calling. Belize Bank. Your future, our commitment.
Plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, text, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio. 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are jumping into, or perhaps I should say, driving into our next conversation, and I am joined by Abigail Wesby. She's an e-taxi operator, and I think for the month of March, this conversation is quite fitting to have a unique professional such as herself to share a bit of what her journey has been like so far in this field. Abigail, thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
And welcome.
Thank you too for having me.
It's a pleasure having you here. Before we get into the obvious of what makes this particular conversation stand out, I want to learn a little bit about yourself. Tell me about yourself. Where are you from? What do you do? What are you passionate about? Then we can go from there.
Sure. Well, throughout my experience, I have initially started this journey as wanting to provide a stability and a better future for my children, my family. So it has been a learning experience for me, especially driving an electric vehicle. It's not as common, or it's something into a new territory for me, learning about a vehicle that's not like the traditional vehicles. There was a learning curve with learning how to manage the charging. It was learning how to manage time. It was more than just driving.
Well, Simon, we did jump ahead, or we're driving ahead. I want to know who you are. How would you describe yourself?
Well, I am very determined.
Okay.
Very determined. I'm motivated by my goals, and so that's mainly what I do.
You said you're also a mom?
Yes, I'm also a mom of 2.
Okay,
yes.
Wonderful. Now, as you mentioned, you're very determined. It sounds like you're hardworking as well, and pretty innovative and creative even. But the basis of this conversation this morning is to highlight what this journey has been like for you in your newfound profession as an e-taxi operator. You spoke of what navigating the newness of this was like. What made you decide to tap into this in the first place?
Well, I wanted something that I can do that gives me more income, more time for myself. As you mentioned, I am hardworking, so I want to be able to to do more things and also offer affordability in the service, and also I was so fascinated with the electric
aspect of a vehicle, right?
Aspect of it, because it's something different. It's economical, it's sustainable, and that is something that's very meaningful to be a part of.
Yeah, I think it's really cool indeed. I'll tell you, I don't believe that I have experienced the e-taxi service that's available in the country, and so just hearing from you how this excited you even before you were able to tap into the business. I have a little bit of that excitement, but not enough that I was able to actually get a ride from it as yet. But what is it about the electric vehicles that really sparked your interest, and what were you able to identify as differences in a regular vehicle?
It's so quiet.
Really?
Passengers, my customers, they're always inquiring about what it's like driving, how it drives smoother. You don't hear anything like compared to a regular vehicle. You hear the engine and you hear when it starts and everything. That doesn't do anything.
Were you intimidated though to take on something new that many people in this country have not even actually tapped into as yet?
Not really.
Really?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm always up for a challenge, and I'm always willing to learn. So when I got into it, I was always wondering, what does this do? What does that do? And so I've learned that it's more computer type vehicle compared to the engine that has so many parts of a traditional car. So it's something very interesting that I have learned.
You know, though, I think one of the things that makes your journey stand out so much, and perhaps you guys can agree as well, is the fact that whenever we go about trying to get a cab somewhere, get a taxi somewhere, there's a very small chance that you'll see a woman behind the wheel. In fact, I believe there was probably only one time that I was able to actually witness, a woman behind the taxi cab, and I was so shocked I had to ask her to do a story. I had to do an interview with her. And so I imagine for yourself, this might have also been something very few women actually got into this profession that you would have seen as well.
Yes.
What made you decide to still go in it though? I mean, you see very few women, you see mostly men as taxi drivers, but you said, I'm gonna do it still. Why?
Well, I've always been working in different fields. So a fun fact about myself is that I also know how to drive a boat.
Oh,
so
that is a fun fact. Okay.
So, I've had that challenge, or I've had that background in me, so I know how to drive a boat, I know how to drive a motorcycle, and I always look for new things.
Yeah. And you're not defined by if it's these gender roles or gender type status quos. How has this perhaps worked in your favor though? Because I imagine there are women who appreciate a woman being behind the wheel as well. Has this worked in your favor?
I've seen a lot more females driving now, or I've realized that there has been more females getting their own cars. I've met a very nice young lady that she has her own vehicle. She has a regular traditional car, but she's driving, and she's when I met her, she started 3 weeks, and she said she likes it.
Yeah.
So I think that it is something that will eventually be more women.
How about passengers though? Do you have any passengers that say, "Oh, Miss Abigail, I don't normally see a woman taxi driver. I'm excited about this." Do you get some customers that comment on that?
Especially kids.
Really? What do they say?
Kids say that they're so fascinated, they feel like it's in the future, that futuristic thing that we used to see.
Futuristic to see a woman driving a taxi cab. That is crazy.
Yes,
but how does that make you feel?
Well, it always puts a smile on my face when I have that reaction. People take pictures with me, and everything. So it's always a good experience.
Now tell me a bit about the service that you provide, because you've taken it up a step from any regular taxi cab or e-taxi service that I've seen or learned of so far. You provide your taxi services. You also have loyalty cards. I see here pre-sold service rider programs as well. Tell me a bit about some of these additional services that come with just simply having access to a driver.
Well, that's a little female touch.
Yeah, you know, that's what you need to say happens when you have females leading, right?
Yeah, so that's a little female touch to the industry. I do try to have my business or my services be customer oriented. So I offer those.
So tell me a bit about what they offer. What is it? The details of it.
So for the loyalty card, the customers would use the service so many times, and at the end they earn a free ride. And then the pre-sold service rider program is something that I've been doing on a limited offer to fundraise for me to expand and be on my go on my own business or my own electric vehicle. So I want to do the fundraising for the deposit for that.
So how does the pre-sold service rider program work? Do you, once you purchase this, you get access to 2, 4, 6, 10 different rides available?
Yes.
And what's the price of it?
It's $5 per ride.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you get essentially 50% off if you purchase the entire you purchase the program.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Just
really
for
good.
one car.
Wow.
Card.
Okay. That's really smart. I like that. Wow. And so, okay. So what's the end goal for you? As you mentioned, it seems like you're trying to go all in and purchase this electric vehicle on your own to fully establish yourself independently. Is that the goal?
That's the goal, yes.
How has this, sorry?
Sorry, go ahead.
How has it been so far raising towards this? Are you getting closer? Has it just started?
Well, it's being that it's my business, it's just me, so it's been a little bumpy, but that's why I've decided to put it out more into a highlight to know that I'm open to supporters, I'm open to partnerships, sponsors, anyone who's willing to build something that is for the betterment of the future of the transportation industry. Someone who has a open mind, you know, who believes in this.
Yeah. You highlighted your cards and you said that's what a woman's touch look like. And I love that comment because it really goes to show that there are benefits to having women in, you know, all of these industries as well. And there are things that you bring that are unique to yourselves. But I want to ask as well, when you have customers coming in, have you ever heard perhaps some of them saying, you know, I feel more safer with a woman behind the wheel, or I feel more comfortable? I don't know how late you work at night, but I know there might be some customers who would prefer to have a woman behind the wheel if they're, you know, getting a taxi service later on in the evening and into the night. Have you had comments like that?
Yeah, I have. It's disheartening, honestly, but I have had customers that have, especially for their young children, their daughters, and even adults, they have asked me they're wanting my services, and I have had that. There are a lot of people that would be comfortable having a female driving them.
Now, when it comes to the time period that your service extends to, do you have like a time when you clock out when you're not running your car?
Well, with an electric vehicle, it's different than a traditional car.
Okay.
So when the battery on the car is low, then I would need to complete the day so that you can charge for the other day.
So do you have a cutoff time that you would typically go to just charge your vehicle then, or is it just essentially when the battery dies?
Well, if I have my own electric vehicle, then I would be able to charge it at home. So it's better.
Okay. So at this time,
for me,
what's your cutoff time?
I don't have a cutoff time. I just go by when the battery would run low.
Okay, so then we would just have to call in or reach out. However,
I would usually update on my WhatsApp that I'm finishing the day because I'm charging the car. That's how I would do it.
That's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, just overall, how has this experience been for you?
Overall, it has been an eye-opening experiencing all the working with the people, working with the customers, doing time management, ensuring that I get everything done. How it's by schedule, you need to be on time. It's been very, very
rewarding.
Learning.
Oh, okay.
I've been learning. So yeah, it has been rewarding, yes, because I'm helping people that does need help getting to work at an affordable rate. And all of that.
Did you see yourself doing this, and do you see yourself doing this long term?
Yes, I've registered my own business name from 2018.
Congratulations! Oh, from 2018.
Yes.
You were like, this is it. We're going all in.
I've been trying, so yes, this is what I'm doing. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, Abigail, this is exciting. We love women-led businesses, and we love when women break the glass ceiling and show that there's no job or no profession that's designed only for one sex or one gender even.
Right.
And so I just want to say a huge congratulations to you. I'll definitely be calling you at some point to get some service or get a cab as well. And I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yes.
All right. So if we would like to purchase the Rider program, how can we do that?
Well, by my phone number, it's also on the card. That's 627-3060.
And that's also for checking to see if you're available for rides as well.
That's my business number.
We didn't say, but do you have a starting time in the day when you typically begin your service? How early do you begin?
Recalling, I think I typically get calls starting from 6 a.m.
Okay, so you provide 6 a.m. drop-offs as early. Okay, perfect. I know a couple coworkers that could use that as well. Alrighty, well, again, Abigail, thank you so much, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you as well. We are now going to take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, the NEBL basketball fever hits the court.
A postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, text, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio, 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
The first time I visited Sharp Vision Eye Clinic, I immediately felt like my eyesight truly mattered. Firstly, the assistant warmly greeted me and asked me to fill out the form explaining the purpose for my visit. Then, the optometrist took her time with me, walking me through a full eye exam and explaining everything clearly. She inquired about my family history for glaucoma, diabetic eye issues, hypertensive retinopathy, things I never even knew to worry about. Their advanced diagnostic imaging gave me the most detailed look I've ever had on my eye health. Knowing they could catch problems early gave me real peace of mind. I was surprised by how much they offer. Treatment for allergies, styes, common eye conditions, and even emergencies like minor injuries. When it came to choosing glasses, their in-house optical shop made things easy. Stylish options, helpful advice, and fast service thanks to their on-site lab. Sharp Vision Eye Clinic gave me clarity and confidence. My vision feels like a priority because here, it truly is.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me, and I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish. Neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. My Father which gave them me is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand." This great promise by Jesus reminds me of the story of a young boy in Florida who decided to go swimming in a swimming hole behind his house. In such a hurry to dive into the cool water, he ran out the back door, leaving his shoes and socks and shirt behind as he went. He flew into the water, not realizing as he swam toward the middle of the lake that an alligator was swimming toward the shore. His mother, looking out the window, saw what was happening and ran outside and began to scream for him to swim back to her frantically. He began to try to make his way back. But just before he reached her, the alligator reached him. From the dock, the mother grabbed her little boy by the arms as the alligator snatched his legs. An incredible tug of war began. The mother screamed for help, and a man passing by came to the rescue. He shot the alligator, and the boy was carried to the hospital. His legs were severely scarred, but later a newspaper reporter came to interview the young boy and asked him to show him his scars. The boy lifted his pant legs and then said to the reporter, "But look at my arms. I have great scars on my arms too, because my mom would not let me go." Many of us have scars of a painful past that reminds us of a loving God who would not let us go. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned with us. This is our final conversation for this morning, and this one is all about basketball, specifically the NEBL, and more specifically the Belize City Defenders. And we have joining us on set Marketing Director at the Belize City Defenders, none other than John Marsden himself.
John the man.
And he's brought along no stranger to the Belize City Defenders, to open your eyes.
To Belize.
Honorary Belizean,
Yeah.
Nigel Jones.
Big peoples.
Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
John, you were here a few weeks ago and we were talking about the excitement leading into the opening of the league, the NEBL. You've played 3 games since then, and you've only been able to win one. And I know it's an ebb and flow.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster ride when it comes to the basketball season. What's your take on performance so far?
We like to say it's a game of chess, not checkers. It's a marathon, not a sprint, right? So we started off the league with high hopes. of the team. And after the second game when we went 0-2, we kind of realized that, you know, this team isn't what we expect it to be with the pieces that we had, right? And we had to go and make some tough decisions to decide if we want to keep the foreign players that we have or we need to move in a different direction. Well, we decided to go in a different direction. I mean, the center that we had was not the center that we expected. So we had to make the tough decision of cutting him, and the general manager kind of made that decision, and then we had the opportunity to sign a proven player in the NEBL. At that time it was a BEBL, but he was proven to be a significant piece to any team that he went. He was courted by many teams, and he decided to come with the defenders, who is Bobby Williams. And then we got a new center, this guy AJ Ajong,
and yeah, I saw him play over the weekend. I believe you all played
last week. We had by last weekend we was our bye. So the week before we played in Bemopan.
Yeah.
Very high motor, very energetic guy. Like, I was just telling him, like, even in workouts, like, he doesn't know how to go half. He goes full steam every time, right? And I love that about him. His energy transcends over to the players, let them know that we're supposed to move, we're supposed to be full steam gameplay. You know, so with the addition of them, I feel now that the team is becoming a better cohesive unit. We're learning to play with each other. Game by game, it's going to get better for us because we get more scrimmaging against other teams. You're going to get that full chemistry. So I'm confident now in the team that I have, very confident. I mean, not to say I wasn't in the first one, but it wasn't what I expected. Now I've seen them play together. Expect them to do nothing but great things now going forward. And starting this Friday, we go against the Corozal Spartans. They're the new team in the league. Very, very energetic team. They're not a pushover team. They're not a walkover team. It's going to be a good game. They play with high energy. They play very, very fast pace. So you're going to expect a very fast-paced game because the defenders play fast-paced, they play fast-paced, and then we just have to limit our possessions and turnovers, try to force them more turnovers, try to get us some more possession, transition, and score some more baskets. Opening night was very, very packed at the Civic.
Yeah, I saw pictures and videos.
Yeah, it was a full-on entertainment. I mean, that's what this league tries to push more now. It's not only basketball, it's an entire entertainment for families, not just for adults. We start now at an earlier time. We used to start at 9, now we start at 8. Right, so we can
for
bring
people
out the
like
kids.
Me.
Yes, so well, I mean, if you're an early sleeper, and by 10 you want to be in your bed.
Yeah.
The game starts promptly at 8.
Nice.
And most times we finish by 10 p.m. so you can get home by 10:30.
11.
You know, at 10:30, 11. Sabrina lives in a village. So,
yeah,
you know.
correct. Yeah, she got that to consider, right? But also,
let's get Nigel in the conversation.
We haven't heard from you in a while, Nigel. How have you been, and what's your take on the league so far?
Well, I feel like this year has been a lot more competitive as far as the league. Like John spoke on earlier, we didn't start out the season the way that we expected to, but you know, sometimes it takes going through a little adversity just to try to figure out exactly who we are, like what's our actual identity. So I feel like this year as a team, we're a lot younger.
I was going to mention that at some point.
We have a lot of young guys this year, so
has that affected, you think, the performance? Is the difference?
I don't think I don't think that's the problem. I just think like
what do you think the problem is? I mean, you're on the court, you're training alongside these other gentlemen.
I just feel like we might have came out the first game maybe a little too flat.
Okay.
We kind of didn't really know exactly. We knew what we were supposed to do. We just never went out there and actually did it the way that we were, you know, because we actually started training camp 5 weeks before the opening game. So we had been practicing for a while, and just when it came game time, the things that we had been working on, it didn't transition to the court. So, you know, I feel like after a couple games, we realized the mistakes that we were making, things we needed to work on, and we came back game 3 and won that game in Belmont-Penn, and I feel like that was a stepping stone for us in the right direction. And I feel like now we just have to continue to build on that, and if we build on that, then we're gonna be just fine.
you all really have a lot of young players. You have Moody, right? No, sorry, not Moody. You have Caceres.
Yep.
You have Orozco.
You have Cut Kelvin.
You have Cut Kelvin. You also have
Jaden Lopez.
Jaden Lopez.
Yeah.
That's already 4, right? Some people argue that having a long list or a lot of young players puts you in a tight position when you have to make changes, especially in critical parts of the game. But for you, Nigel, as a seasoned player, how do you see young players adding value to such an experienced team?
Well, I think it helps us a lot because I never thought I would ever be saying this. I'm like the oldest player on the team now. Yeah, like I never thought I would.
They call you Unc now?
Yes, like I'm the OG. Like I never thought, you know, it would be a time where like I'm the oldest. But I try to help them with anything, any knowledge, anything that I know about the game, things like that. Me and we have a couple more guys on the team that are like vets, you could say in a sense. So we just tell them every night at practice, you just have to compete. It's not all about, oh, well, we don't expect you to be better than us right now, but we want you to grow into that.
Yeah.
And the more and more that we come to practice every night, if you're competing against us like this every single night, when it comes game time and you playing against somebody else, it's just gonna be like second nature to you. Like it won't be nothing. So for them, I think it's just more about reps. The more reps they get, the more good that they do, it's gonna just open up their eyes and they're gonna wanna, it's gonna just make it,
Yeah, and these young players, John, they have the energy. They're very open and willing to learn as well. So you could really mold them and shape them and then shape the game into what you want it to be, right?
Correct. When you have a young player, it's for building for the future, right? I mean, Nigel won't be able to play forever with us, right? I mean, so we have to bring in new blood, so to speak, and mold them. The defenders has a culture we like to try and instill into our players, and it's easier to mold it from this younger than to get players that are already used to a certain style and bring them and say, okay, this is how we want you guys to play. But if they're used to it, 2-3 years, I mean, take Shane Pratt. Shane has been with us. This is Shane's 2nd year with the defenders, and Shane knows what we expect of him. His efficiency on the court is in a plus, right? You know, basketball, the plus minus. Shane is in a plus, right? For a young, Shane is only 20 years old. He's a very key piece to the defenders. Jaden has a very bright future. I love that kid.
Yeah.
I mean, he's high motor as well.
Yeah.
Caceres has a natural touch for the ball. You know, Jason and we call it Tobo, Cut Kelvin. They're very young. One is 17, one is 18. You know, so they are perfect age for us right now to say this is how we want you guys to play in the future. And just to get certain reps instilled in, you're not to say you're going to have a big key role right this year, but it's to say that when you know what you're getting to a game, this is what we need from you, right? And that's just to give them a mentality that I can be in this league. I may not be where I want to be right now, but in the future I'll be one of the key pieces in a defender's uniform, right?
I was going to ask, what do you say to, fans that are tuning in that have been following the defenders' journey so far, and they're a little bit underwhelmed by the performance in the beginning, and then of course hearing that there were certain moves that had to be made to ensure that the defenders or the team has a stronger standing to complete the rest of the season? How do you reassure them that it's going to get better?
I'll invite them to come out Friday and understand. Monday was our first practice, and I'm at every practice, or most practices. I'm not normally a vocal person in the practice. I saw certain things Monday, and I asked the coach, can I have a minute with them? And I instilled in them. I tell them, we came out our first home game and did not give our fans what they expected. I said, that won't happen this game. I said, we played in Bemopan, we were up 20 points and we started to showboat. Right?
Yeah.
That won't happen this game.
Correct.
The highlights will come. Naturally it will come, but we're going to make better decisions on the court. And I think the little stylish passes, let's not instill ourselves to make dumb passes. Get the pass down, get the point in, score the basket, and let's blow this team out. And I was very, I didn't use those kind words. I was very kind of upset about it because it was a play that I saw that it was an easy play, and then they kind of did a pass that didn't make any sense to me. And I was like, let's nip this in the butt right now and have this tighten up. And so last night I was at the practice and it was much better cohesiveness, better passing, more sensible passing. So I'm telling the fans, come out Friday and we're going to reassure you guys why the Belize City Defenders is your team. Right? The good thing with the good thing about Belize City Defenders fans, they stick with us. Yeah. They stick with us through thick and thin.
We go stick beside y'all.
Yeah. I think the uphill battle you all are facing, well, you faced at the start of the season, because I see you all building momentum with strategic decisions, but it adds to the excitement of the league, because you know what, come into a league assuming that, defenders just want to take it all, right? And just blow it away. You want to build that anticipation, that excitement. Right? You want that arc in your story.
You always, we spoke about that, we said we prefer to go through the trials now than later in the season we start mentally breakdown. Right? The good thing about this league for fans, every team is going to compete.
100%. Right?
And that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
The parity in the league is 100 is straight across, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, I said the Corozal team might be the youngsters, but they're not a pushover team. They're giving teams runs.
Right.
Right? The Bemopan team are giving teams runs.
I'm looking at Kayo. Yeah, that setup in Kayo also, they're doing something
Kayo
really good.
is giving teams runs. I mean, every team I could say that they're not an easy task to say, oh, we're just going to go blow this team tonight. No, you know, works anymore. Like the leagues that compete, every team won a 70,000.
Right.
And that's what makes it even more exciting, for any fan or any viewer. They know that whatever game they go and they attend, it's one to watch.
Correct. It is, and like I said, we add the entertainment to it, because for us, the defenders, we've chosen to, at halftime, we're either giving an artist or an international DJ, and for this one, we've brought in DJ Elements from Antigua.
Nice.
Who will be giving like a little 15-minute performance at the halftime to set you up for the after party. Hopefully when the defenders win. When the defenders win.
Thank you.
We're going to have an after party at the Shisha 8 nightclub.
Yes.
So it's a good thing if we bring the kids out, make them say different DJs. We're already used to our Belizean DJs here. So we're giving them a little showcase from a different country. Just to add one cherry on the pie. Made many giveaways. We have the halftime shot.
Somebody secured that last.
Yes, but we replenish it, man.
We got more money.
How much is there?
5,000.
I know, right?
5,000?
$5,000. One shot from free throw, one from 3-pointer, and one from half court.
Well, you have to get all three.
So of course. I think you can make that.
I think I could too.
I think you can.
But for you, it would be different, because
I don't believe in her.
I don't think they had a female.
Not for half court.
No, but the female doesn't do half court. The female does a left side layup,
I
a
know
right side
how to do
layup,
a left side and a right side layup, and a free throw,
and a 3-pointer,
and a free throw, and a 3-point. I could do that.
Where you shoot free throw from?
From in front of the rim.
The free throw line.
You thought.
All right, so that you all are playing against Corozal on Friday night inside the Civic. This is your second home game for the season. All right, and tickets?
So tickets go on sale Friday at the box office, but we have people hitting me up. You can hit me up if you have my number, 622-9754. Secure tickets early. You can pick it up at Mars Distributors on Vernon Street. Or if you want to wait on Friday, it goes on sale. The box office opens at 1 p.m. And we go until tickets are either sold out or we close the gate at the third quarter line. At the third quarter point, we normally close the box office, and then nobody else can enter into. So you have until the third quarter to get your tickets. Again, like I expressed, the halftime show is with DJ Elements. The $5,000 half-court shot. We have many giveaways, TVs, big screen TVs. There are people who win 55-inch TVs. And also, the league is giving a lot of stuff away. Not only the defenders, but also the league. The drinks will be cold. We're packing the bar from Thursday. So as I get the drinks, we try to keep the prices very low so everybody can afford it. Popcorn, all the good stuff for the kids. And invite everybody to come out. Ticket prices, courtside is $50, VIP is $25, and general admission is $10, and kids is $5.
Nice.
Right?
Well, sounds like it's going to be another fun event, family event, of course, and we're just excited. We, regardless of what happens, we gonna stick beside the defenders, and we're just hoping for a successful game on Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Well, we do have to wrap things up, Paul, and we want to say thank you to everyone who joined us this morning on set. Also, you guys for tuning in, locking in, and commenting even on our social media pages. It is March 18th, and if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oye@greaterbelize.com.
We also have our social media. You can catch us live on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ. You could look at behind the scenes content. That's OIE Belize. And we also have our TikTok. Our TikTok is openyoureyes.bz, and then we have a WhatsApp number.
We do have a phone number. You can call us or text us, and that number is 675-2555. But please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow when you open your eyes
and start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open.
Have a wonderful Wednesday. We're going to jump now into some of those comments this morning, and then we will see you tomorrow.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and SMART, bringing people together.